I wanted to include my inspirations from Doctor Who in a look, and then when we got the brief Out of This World, it was obviously this is the one that I'm gonna throw the Doctor Who into. So for the prosthetics around the eye, I had to use 2 separate pieces that at the end would make up the final eye prosthetic, because I didn't really want to place silicone prosthetics on her eyelid, especially if the model's never experienced silicone prosthetics before. So after you apply the prosthetic to the face, you want to use IPA and a cotton bud and use like a rolling upwards and downwards method to peel away the flashing, which is the outside area of the prosthetic. And it's basically just a wall where there's a thicker bit of silicone, and it's there so that special effects artists can sort of hold the prosthetic taut against the face. So here you can see that I'm starting to paint my model's body. I'm using alcohol paint because that's what they would use on set, and I'm a little bit superstitious, and I felt like if I didn't use exactly what they probably would have used, then it would have gone wrong. I used a pretty big brush so that the prosthetic sort of blended in with the skin, whereas I think if you focus on just painting the prosthetic first, then it's gonna really bring it out from the skin and you're not gonna see it as part of the body, you're gonna see it as an addition to it. I was using a smaller brush to get the detail in the mouth. I wanted to make sure that the blue didn't escape what I wanted it to, so I was using a smaller brush, which did take a bit longer, but it was more effective. To make the prosthetic look as if that it was muscle underneath her skin, I'm using the same brush that I used around the mouth area to really go in with that same blue and deepen up the lines. I go around the edge of the prosthetic as well, and then that will basically create a shadow that makes it look like the green is the skin that's peeled away. When I was adding the additions to the face, like the rib muscle, the mouth and the teeth, I wanted to make sure that it had some weird element of it still being quite friendly. I'm using a adhesive and I'm putting the glue on the teeth themselves and also on her skin, and I'm doing the same technique as with the prosthetics, where it's like the 2 areas of glue are sticking together like Velcro, because I really didn't want these teeth to fall off. Here I'm just basically putting a little bit of alcohol paint into the teeth and then using the alcohol as a spray to dilute that in the direction so that it creates drips, and that was to create the effect of the blood sort of oozing out of the wounds where the teeth have poked through the skin. I wanted to use blue as the blood because it was just the absolute opposite of what you'd think blood would look like, but you know straight away that it is still blood. Making it green and blue adds an aspect of fun and character to it rather than just pure horror. So here you can see that I'm applying glycerin to the face in the areas where the muscle prosthetic and the mouth prosthetic is. I want it to look like the green flesh has been ripped away and the blood underneath is fresh and it's wet and it's disgusting. I got glycerin and mixed it with a little bit of water, and that product, it stays wet. I laid that on top of the blue, and then obviously because it's see-through, the blue looked like it was the blood itself, whereas actually it was just clear glycerin and then the blue paint underneath. I used to watch Doctor Who Confidential like on BBC Three and try and see how they did it all, like behind the scenes and all the makeup and stuff. I came up with the storyline that she was a product of alien experiments in order to try and find the perfect human and to try and create humans out of what they had of us. It was definitely a dream come true to be able to have that opportunity to create a Doctor Who monster in my own design and my own creation, and for people to be able to see it as well was just what I wanted.